I'm going to show you a few different areas tonight. And the first, we're going to be concentrating mostly on Lake Berryessa. And if you could imagine Lake Berryessa in the Monticello Valley, or the Berryessa Valley before it was inundated with water. As far as I understand it, it's fairly similar to what Po Valley is like now. Population, a couple hundred people, a store, maybe a feed store, maybe a gas pump, and some other houses and barns. A lot of usage as far as cattle, maybe sheep, hay. So I want to take you through some of, we'll have to shut these off too.
It's over there.
It's not going to be too bright.
That's lighter oil.
Beautiful. Okay, you all know what this is, Lake Berryessa. This is one of the feeder streams, part of the watershed that funnels into Lake Berryessa. And if you can see that everything that you can see in this picture, except for the trees and the barns in the background, should be underwater. And right now it's receded to quite a ways off in the distance. This is one of the two main feeder streams coming into Lake Berryessa. This is at Poudre Creek, or Po Creek at the bridge. Normally you can see the water line on the large rock to your right. There's kind of a white streak. That's about the normal water level. And that's where a lot of the people will jump off and it would injure themselves in the rocks below. And this year they don't have much chance of making it to the water. This is in Po Valley. If you can imagine, this is probably what the Monticello or Berryessa area looked like. With a garage and a store, some barns, there's a blacksmith. I imagine it offered some recreation. This is Etna Springs Golf Course. You can see why Napa County didn't want to flood that region. They probably enjoyed the land. Anybody familiar with the Hubcap Ranch? Alito's Hubcap Ranch? This nice snake lives in Po Valley in the garage, in the bathtub. But this is truly our subject. The lake covers about 21,000 acres of land. And at the top of the map you can see the road following along at the very top, and you can see how the lake goes past that road. I stood on the road and took one of the initial first pictures where you saw the feeder stream coming in and there was just land. So you can see how far down the water is. To the left there's a large fork coming in, it's Poudre Creek, and that's probably one of the main feeders into Berryessa. That's Poudre Creek today. On a typical high water, it'll cover the whole gravel and sand bed, make it partway up the bank. And during with a March Miracle, it was not full, but it was certainly a raging river. Take a look at this now, and you can see how much water is going in. It's not a great deal. It's actually high for this time of year. This is another little stream that comes in Po Canyon, Po Creek, that runs into Lake Berryessa. And again, it's no large feet of water. Normally all the valley in there is full of water. You can boat up in past that. take you down the shoreline of the different resorts. This is Poudre Creek Resort, and you can see how far the water's recessed here. They're still, I believe they're still able to launch at this resort, and the trailers and the store and the facilities are still functional and operational. The lake has not been as busy as it has been, say, 5 years ago. Activity slowed down quite a bit. Normally it's full right up to the trees. They say the storm in March brought the lake level up about 17 to 20 feet. And it was 70 feet low at that time. So we're still 50 feet and losing quite rapidly. There's homes directly on the Lake Berryessa Pines, a large number of homes there. This is Rancho Monticello Resort. Up here where the arrows are on the asphalt used to be where the water started. They launched from, they had to move it all out. And they're still operational. Normally there'd be quite a few cars parked there. Things are pretty quiet. This is Lake Berryessa Marina. They've done quite a good job making a new marina, a new floating marina, and pushed it away, so they're still in the water. And all the land, again, that's the brown hill there, should be covered with water right up to the left side where those trailers are parked. They built a nice RV parking and put in some nice reinforcements so you could stay in your RV and be right next to the water. You could fish right there. They got it done just in time. Solano currently is taking out a safe annual yield of about 202 million acre feet of water a year, and the capacity of the lake is about 1.6 million. All this is normally covered. Oak Shores, Bureau of Land Management. Beaches, normally it's right up to the oak trees here. It's all receding away. The big island you can see way out there. Normally you can swim right up to the bottom of the slide there. And all this is normally covered. The island in the distance there, every year they have a swim, and they swim from Oak Shores out around that island and back. And this year it wasn't very long. When they had the March rains, I thought, man, there's a lot of water coming down. That lake's got to be full. And you heard the reports of the people saying that, it didn't really make much of a dent. It was nice that we had it. It helped a little bit, but it really wasn't going to save us from the drought. And when you go up to the lake and look, you can see that we're still severely short of water at Lake Berryessa. There's a lot of water left, but it's not what it used to be. This is Spanish Flat Resort. They have put out several different ramps. I can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 ramps here, 2 of which are functioning. Normally it's all full. This is Capel Cove. It's the public launch, public free launch. I believe it's still free today. Good catfishing down there, but there's certainly no launch. This is Steel Park Resort, the entrance. And it's basically across from Spanish Flat Resort. It was in that area where the old bridge surfaced when the water got very low. And that's Steel Park Resort there. There's housing at the southern end of the lake as well as the northern end. This is the southern end of the Lake Berryessa Highlands. You can see the homes up on the hills. And these projects were put in, I believe, in the 60s. This is why we're here today. Our topic is the Monticello Hydroelectric Project. And it sits at the southeastern side of Lake Berryessa. There are 2 hydroelectric possibilities here. One is in use today, right there, and used by Solano County. One time we proposed that we put in another one and draw some income off of that, get some use out of the lake, and that'll be covered later on in the topic. This is Poudre Creek also, the southern, it's what goes to Solano County. As you can see, there's a lot more flow here than there is at what's coming in, so it's going to be dropping every day. This is still Poudre Creek, the southern end. And just to show you again, that's what's coming into the lake. This is the glory hole, and that's a safety. If the lake gets too full, the water will flow over and down and out the bottom of the dam. Not a problem. We're at the crossroads now. There's been a long battle with Solano over Lake Berryessa. It's still not a done deal. They're still working on it. The decisions that were made in the past and the effort that we put into now are going to make the decisions of how Lake Berryessa is used. At the rate that it's being consumed, it may not be a problem.